Welcome back. Rooms. This one of the major differences between BIM software and non-BIM software for architecture is the intelligibility or the smartness, the building information modeling component. Rooms are one of those that's a really, really powerful tool. And essentially what it is, when you, in a regular architectural floor plan, you have to label the rooms. And if the program isn't already set up with some sort of Lisp routine for AutoCAD in particular, where once you apply a room, it tells you what the square footages are. REVIT does that automatically. So you place a room, it tells you what the cubic volume is based on an assumed ceiling height of 8 feet, a square footage, and a perimeter. But it goes beyond that. It allows you to select and choose room name and number, as well as room type, department, users. I mean, it's incredibly powerful. So I'm going to show you a very basic room application. So how do you apply rooms? And I'm going to show you how to color code that. At least in the planning process in my practice, I color code the rooms by department, so you understand where patient rooms are in relationship to, or let me say it differently, where public rooms are in relation to private rooms, where corridors are, building infrastructure, etc. So I'm going to show you real quick that demonstration. You may recognize this example from the previous video where we were talking about column grids. And if you didn't see that one, I encourage you to go check it out. I think it's pretty useful. So I'm simply going to place some really very fast walls along this column grid. And then I'm going to place a few more walls within it, just so that we can play with this notion of rooms. Actually, I'm going to do some quick modifications to this one. I really wanted a series of maybe a couple bigger rooms, something like that. Okay, so again, in the architecture tab, scroll all the way to the right, you'll see room. Now, if you do nothing else, it's going to be pretty intelligent, right? It looks for a closed polygon. This is really important. It looks for a closed room. If the walls don't go to the floor, or there's no bounding elements such as walls or room separators, then it's going to assume that it's going to the perimeter of whatever. And if it can't find a perimeter, it'll look like that because there's no perimeter. So I'm assuming the upper limit is level 1, the offset is 10. Again, that gives us the room volume. The horizontal refers to the room tag, and the type of room is new. And it says new because if you could preload a room schedule with all the rooms that you're going to have, maybe from your programming document, and then instead of choosing new, just choose from a room that's already listed in your programming document. So that's super helpful. But also over here, instead of room, actually I'm going to leave it room, but I'm going to call it private, because I don't know what kind of room this is just yet. So I'm going to list private room here. I'm going to put a private room there. And notice that it's trying to align these guys as I go. This will be another private room. And then this time I'm going to choose public for room. And I'm going to align it. And then finally, I'm going to put, for department, I'm just going to put open. And then or actually, you know what? I'll put common. And then under room, I'm going to put open. And this refers to this large space in the center. Okay. So now I have room 1, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, I didn't do that in an intelligible way. Like in theory, if you already knew the rooms, you would just go in order, or whatever your room naming convention is for the floor plan. But I didn't do that. And actually, there is a REVIT routine that you can select all the rooms and it'll auto number them based on whatever orientation you want to give it. I'm not going to cover that today, but so right now I have all my rooms placed, and but it looks the same, and this is not super valuable information to present to the client. So the one thing that I'll add value to it is under annotate, you'll notice on the far right hand side there's something called color fill legend. We're going to select that, and we're going to place this legend just off to the side, so maybe right here. And it says, okay, what type of space and color scheme would you like? Space type instead of spaces, I'm going to choose rooms, and color scheme is by department. And then it auto-colored the rooms based on department. So common area is this pinkish color, private is this, I don't know what, bone color, whatever that is, and then public is this yellow. Now I'm not crazy about these colors, so I'm going to change it to something I want. And so you do that by selecting the legend itself, hit edit scheme, and then just change the RGB color. So for public, I'm going to actually change that to green, and then reduce its saturation somewhat. For private, I'm going to change that to red, and again, reduce the saturation a little bit. And then for common, I'm going to change that to yellow and reduce saturation. Right, so red, green, yellow. Hit OK. Hit apply and OK. And now it's a much more clear diagram to understand what rooms are which kind of by department, and then what their adjacencies are. Now you're probably saying, yeah, but Mike, even in an open plan, you have a quote unquote established corridor, where you would have fixed cubicles or something like that. And you're exactly right. So again, under the architecture tab, there's a tool for that where it's an implied or it's a distinguished lane or travel aisle that isn't necessarily bound by walls. We do that with room separators. So I'm going to choose room separator. I'm going to use the pick tool, and I'm going to give it an offset of 8 feet. I'm a healthcare guy, so I'm just wired to 8 feet by default. So I'm going to choose the outside edge of this wall, choose the outside edge of that wall, and I'm going to clean up those line work. And now you'll see there's an unbound room, or at least as Revit understands it as a room, which is in theory circulation. And so if you hover over the open room sticks and hit tab one time, you'll get the lines that equal the bounding elements. So you understand where this room goes to. So I'm going to add one more room type, and this time I'm just going to put it in the corner, but instead of open, I'm going to call it corridor. And under department, I'm going to call it circulation. And click, and now I have a new color which represents the corridor. And again, there's no wall here. I did that with room separators instead of a wall. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, please like and share it with others. If you're not already a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to my channel by selecting the profile picture below. This will take you to my channel with videos like these and many others on topics such as Revit, SketchUp, analog tools, and videos such as these in the playlist next to you that are specific to this topic. Have a great rest of your day.